All right. Well, Beneil, I feel like it's tradition at this point, man. We got to get caught up after you decompressed, after you get a chance, another big win. So let me ask you, I mean, you had a couple days to get back home. Like I said, decompress, take it all in. What's the feeling over everything that unfolded this past week?
It's so weird. It went from the most stressful week to just back to normal. I just, I was vacuuming and mowing the lawn and picking up trash, and I left my house a little bit messy when we left, so I'm just like cleaning. And but I'm supposed to go to the dealership after this, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, should we just start there then? Should we start with the Tesla? I mean, that's the most important thing, right?
Whatever you want, man. At this point, I everybody wants to know about the Tesla.
That's pretty wild, right? I mean, was that spur of the moment, or did you go in thinking I'm going to have a little fun with this if I win, or how did that come out?
So I mentioned it jokingly to some of the guys I wrestle with. I'm like, man, my car was supposed to be here, in December, and it's May, and it's still not here. Right before I left for the fight, I'm gonna call Elon out after my fight, and we kind of joke. It was a joke, but everybody laughed about it and whatever, and that's it. And then as I was, cutting weight and doing all that, I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna do it. Why not? What am I gonna? What do I got to lose? And here we are.
It worked, right? He got back to you. He hit you up on Twitter, and now the dealership reached out too.
Yeah. So I was shocked. And here's the crazy thing: not a dealership. Like every single person from Tesla is like calling me and emailing me and like, hey, so about your car, you want to come in and get this done? I'm like, oh crap.
That's awesome, man. Well, there you go. That's good news. Well, let's talk about the week, and then we'll talk about kind of where you stand. So, I want to start with the press conference, right? I mean, big press conference, fans back in the building. Tony Ferguson, by all accounts, kind of stole the show. He made it the Tony show. What's that experience like, man? Because you haven't been in that position a whole lot, and then to have Tony kind of being Tony, is it entertaining? Is it annoying? Is it fun? What was that like?
So at the moment, right inside that press conference, I'll be honest with you, he pissed me off. I'm not even gonna hide it because you can talk about me and it's not a big deal, but like he starts talking about Ollie, he starts talking about Justin, and these are people that I love, and so it got under my skin, and right away I was like, you're not gonna get far on this one. I'm gonna shut you down as quickly as possible.
He did say that you were ducking him, though. That was pretty entertaining, right? That was the funny.
Mine was blown. I was like, "What is?" I couldn't even. I was at a loss for words when he said that. I was like, "I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here." Anyways, Tony.
That was the best part. So I do wonder. So knowing you, I mean, the nice guy that you are, the gentleman that you are, it did seem like he was getting under your skin a little bit. Is it difficult? Like what are you doing in that moment? Are you thinking like, how can I get back at him, or how can I turn this around, or I just got to swallow my pride? What's that like?
It's actually at that moment, he got under my skin, but right after the meeting, I took a minute, kind of took a break, and I just realized, that's just the way Tony is, and it's easy for me to be a fighter. It's the easiest thing to do. Being kind is hard, because to be kind, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. So I just kind of put myself in his shoes and on the people around him, and I just realized, you know what? Whatever, just let it go. Tony's Tony, and I'm over it. And that's the one thing I always try to do with every single person I meet, with every single person that I interact with. I try to put myself in their shoes, and that just allowed me to kind of reset and move forward.
That's awesome, man. That's a good life lesson, to be honest with you, man, in all walks of life, So the fight itself, dominant but tough, right? I mean, Tony's just. I mean, I think everybody's in awe of how, the heel hook didn't end the fight. And how did it play out? I mean, we've been watching Tony compete for years and years and years. So I think you knew you were, expecting a durable, kind of wily guy. But what was it like actually being in there with him?
He was he was, like you said, durable. That was the only thing I really felt from him. I didn't really get a chance to feel his striking, and to be honest with you, at the moments that we did exchange some strikes, he felt slow and awkward. He was like spinning a little bit, and he was trying to find his timing. I think he wasn't really like loose yet. I never really gave him a chance to get loose. And then after the first round, the lactic acid in his muscles really activated, and you could tell he wasn't really the same after the first round.
It's unfair to ask you what he should do, but you're the last guy that's been in there with him in competition, right? So I think everybody's debating right now, should he continue on? I mean, what do you think? I mean, when you were in there with him, is he still a UFC caliber athlete? And if so, would you have advice for him? Or I mean, again, if you don't want to comment, you don't have to, but you're the last one that's been in there with him. How would you evaluate it?
I can't decide for him whether he should retire or not, but here's what I will tell him. His knee is messed up. I know for sure it's messed up. I felt that pop. I know how bad it is. I don't know how bad it is, but I know it's bad. I think he needs to get a real physical therapist, not do it himself. I think he needs to realize he can't do everything himself, and I think he needs to start trusting people. I think if he does that, he starts putting his trust in the right people, he can figure out whether he'll fight again or not. But I think his number one priority should be fixing his knee and spending time with his family.
Well said, man. Well said. Okay, so the night of, you hadn't had a chance yet to watch Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. I'm assuming you've watched this fight by now.
I watched it. Good fight.
Which thing? Yeah, give me your breakdown. What do you think of it?
So good fight. I thought for Charles to win, he'd had to do it in the first two rounds because I noticed he starts to fade after the second. And Chandler, being Chandler, came out fast, and he had a good first round. I was actually really impressed with the fact that he's able to escape that back take. He escaped the back. He had a good first round. He showed like this was going to be a long night. At least that's what I thought. If you look at the first round, you're like, okay, this is probably going to go the distance, or he's Chandler's going to end up finishing him at the end. And then the second round, it was so fast, and all it was just Chandler was too excited to jump in for his attack. He left his hands a little bit down, and he got caught. And that's what it is, man. When you're at the highest level, small mistakes like that could cost you a fight. So I thought it was a really good fight. I thought both men showed world-class skills, and I'm just looking forward to the next step now.
Yeah, no question. So the next step for you, we know, is taking some time off, right? Welcoming the birth of your child, who I know you're extremely excited about. I mean, that takes precedence. But are you going to be watching things in the meantime? I mean, do you keep your eye on kind of what's happening in the division, or do you totally unplug and say, no, I'm going into pure family mode?
No, I mean, I can't help myself. I love to train. I'll be back to training. I'm already kind of itching to train. My knee's a little bit like scratched up, but besides that, I'm looking to train. I want to get back into work, and I'll be paying attention. I think I got a real case for the title.
You're definitely right there. I mean, I guess if you're looking at it right now, I don't know if you want to give him too much credit, but do you look at Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor and say the winner of that fight's probably going to get the title shot before me?
On paper, the winner of that fight, or not on paper, I'm sorry. In business numbers, that's the fight that's going to get the title shot. But here's the thing: I'm the only guy with an actual streak in that division. That's one thing. I have the longest streak in the top 3 right now. The other thing is, these guys don't get their contracts figured out that quickly. These guys they'll fight, and then I've seen contracts fall apart for Dustin and Conor. Things have not worked out before, and so I'm sitting here, and I'm ready to go. All you got to do is give me a fight, like end of November or December. That's all I'm saying. It's not that far off. I'm sure Charles is going to want a break to celebrate in Brazil and do his thing. So I'm here.
I was going to say, so what if the champ says, I'm looking at like late August, early September. Beneil seems like the right matchup for me. I'll take that fight. Do Do you go to the wife and say, honey, we got to talk. This is a title shot. Or do you just go, no, I'm not having that conversation with my wife. I'm not.
My wife's over there saying, yes, yes. But it's a no. It's a no. I've already picked what I've already decided, and it's gonna be my family first.
Yeah, much respect to you for that, man. You never get that time back, right? There could always be some other fights, but you never get that time back.
You have to understand, before we got the Tony fight, like almost every night I'd be like, okay, Victoria, come here. I'm gonna sing to Alva, or Victoria, I'm gonna do this. I was doing the chores around the house, and then once the fight got signed, and like 6 weeks out before the fight, I was just like a zombie. I'd have 2 hard practices every day, and then I'd have to do all these other things just to be ready for the next day. And I'm not having that when my daughter's born. Not right away. Not until we get into a smooth schedule and just figure out how everything needs to be.
Man, I respect the hell out of that. I had to miss my kids' last 2 birthdays because of the pandemic and what was going on with the UFC, and it's just time you don't get back, man. So I respect the hell out of you for saying that, man. So talk to me about that flipping that switch, man. Like you said, I mean, Saturday night you're in front of 17,000 adoring fans going crazy, fighting a maniac in Tony Ferguson. The crowd was electric. You pick up this big win. Now we're talking about potential title shots. And then, Sunday afternoon, you got laundry to do and stuff to clean around the house. And then, is that difficult to flip back into just, around the house guy, Beneil Dariush?
I'll be honest with you. It is a little bit, You know what the crazy thing is? Even the adrenaline, it doesn't leave me until I break another sweat. So I have to break another sweat, which I already did, just so I can kind of like calm down, get better rest. But even though my brain is constantly thinking, man, about the next fight and I'm still focused, I'm focused on what I got to do, and that's take care of my family. Like, it's weird. I'm like, I feel like Two-Face right now. I'm like, I gotta fight, but then no, I gotta take care of my family. So I'm just as confused as anybody. But I get it. I know what step one is. I'm confused and I'm struggling with it, but I get it. And it's just that's my battle right now, is making sure I stay focused on the task at hand.
No doubt. You start thinking about Charles Oliveira, how a fight with him. He's an exciting one.
I've already thought about it. I don't know if you remember. I was matched up with this guy a few times.
I do.
Yeah, so I've thought about how I would fight him. I've thought about how I would get after him, and I think it would be pretty exciting. I think people would really like it.
Would it be personal for you? And I guess that's kind of what I want to ask, because it's kind of weird how it's all played out, right? I mean, you guys were matched up, and now he's the champ. Did he just play his cards right, or do you feel like taking advantage of it all by the way things went down?
No, I mean, even the week of the fight, I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, man, good luck." Listen, right now, if a number 10 guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I want the fight and whatever," I'd be like, "Bro, no thanks. I'm gonna look for like either number 1 contender spot or the title." I mean, I think title is what makes more sense, but like, you know what I mean? And I think that's what he did. He's like, no thanks. I'm gonna go chase Tony because Tony's gonna get me the title shot, and it did. So I get why he did what he did. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm just man, God bless Charles. He did his thing, and he's the champ right now. Look at what he did. So good for him.
That's awesome.
All I'm asking is for my shot now.
I love it. Can't say any better than that. Well, we'll look forward to it. I hope you enjoy the time off. I'm sure we'll stay in touch with you over the next couple of months. What's the goal at the Tesla office today? Are you going to try to ask for a couple of upgrades, or we pushing them a little bit? Hey, look at all this free publicity I got you. Why not throw in a little couple of extra options?
I don't want anything extra, man. I don't want anything I didn't earn or I'm gonna pay for. I just wanted my car on time. They had told me March, and then March turned into May. May turned into June, and then I'm sure if I recall them right now, they tell me like something even later. But we're gonna go in there, and I'm gonna, the black guy is gonna really help me. And I'm gonna let them know I'm here and I mean business. And I might even change my shirt because this shirt is too nice and too fun. I might wear some kind of like skull on this side and like I don't know, a weird animal on the other side just to scare them.
That'd be great. I'd love to see you get mad once. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before, but
I mean, I was pretty close in that press conference. I was getting there. Tony was definitely getting under my skin.
That's great. Awesome, man. Well, taking enough of your time, I'll let you get back to your lovely family. Congratulations on the win and maybe a title shot at the end of the year.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Think about it, Dana. It makes more sense if you think about it. Just keep thinking about it. That's all I'm saying.